Hello everyone. I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday. So it is Monday at 7 o'clock and you know exactly what that means. That means Samara is here with you guys, keeping it real estate, because I love this stuff, where you get a unfiltered amount of time where you can ask me any question you would like. Some of you already asked me questions. Like I said, our DMs are full. We answer them, but things that would provide value to you guys, I want to make sure I share with you, because sometimes people are afraid to ask the questions out loud. And I feel like you need to go to a place where you can ask questions, and there's no such thing as a stupid question, because I love all of them. I like when you keep me on my toes. I like when you just think outside the box. I like them all. Real estate is definitely a tricky little process, and there's a million and one moving parts that are happening. Hence the reason you shouldn't feel like you have to do it by yourself. And if you are a buyer or a seller or an investor, or anyone just thinking about the real estate, like, I'm your girl. I got you. We answer questions. We try to provide everything that you possibly need to be able to have a smooth transaction, right? No matter how you cut it. We have a whole squad here, a couple agents that also are really good at what they do. You guys meet the team when you have them. We have a team of lenders, home inspectors, people that we kind of pair off with to make sure we get to the closing table. So, segment's the same. We get 15 minutes, Q&A. I know time flies when we're having fun, but everybody has to get back to their life, the fun things that you guys do. And we cover buyers' questions, sellers. We try to get to commercial whenever we can. I always hit up my investors, and every once in a while we'll throw in an agent inquiry, because there are agents that hit me up like, why would I want to be an agent? But I kind of want to be an agent. So in this market, that's a very interesting question. But ultimately, if you have those questions too, we can definitely help you. So let's get started. Thank you guys who have been checking me out. Thank you guys for jumping on. Hi guys. I was posting this weekend that I just did a softball game. I keep asking myself I'm too old for this stuff, but I guess you're never too old, right? I mean, my bruises might tell you otherwise, and the sore aches everywhere might tell me otherwise, but again, life be lifing. So let's hit up these questions that we got, because I know time will fly before we know it, and then we're like, hey, I have more. And then you guys hit me up on the DMs like you usually do, or in the chats after I post this. If you miss it, no worries. I record them all. They get posted on our pages. We share them on YouTube, and we have them on our actual Facebook pages as well. So check them out. Thanks for jumping on. And we'll be able to see them all on there as well. So first up, we have our buyers. My buyers, I love you guys. I know this is a crazy, crazy market. I think you guys are doing amazing. My buyers who are working with me, I always remind you guys, if you don't have an agent yet, make sure you vet your agent, okay? Somebody you're gonna be working with, you're gonna have to ask questions to, and make sure they're vetting you too, that they're actually understanding your why, what you're looking for, that they're actually helping you make sure you get approved. And if you're not ready yet, being able to pair you off with the right lenders to make sure you get ready. So keep all those things in mind when you're looking. But for my buyers, you guys are asking amazing questions. And let's get started. One's getting ready to close. So the question that they asked was actually really good. What's one thing that buyers forget to budget for every single time? Now, this is great, because a lot of times you guys have tunnel vision, and I love it. You guys are focused. You're coming up with your closing cost, and you're like, I have everything I need for closing. You know, I have my closing costs. I'm gonna be able to have my down payment, and then we're good. And then you guys forget about the small things that happen right after you close, right? So these things add up really, really fast. Let's see, your moving truck, paint, blinds, like all the little small things that make the comforts of a new place that belongs to you, right? Those will add up really fast. So make sure you budget for that. Like, not gonna go crazy unless you create like a new home list and you invite all your friends to like pick up things for you. Because Target or Walmart, whatever runs you're making, will make you go broke, guys. It will. You'll walk in there and say, I need this. I need all of it. You are a first-time home buyer. You walk into a house. You think about all the things that you need versus things that you want. Same thing we did when we were looking for a house, right? So be really mindful of that. But it's a lot of fun when you get your new space. People are always willing to try to help you out with things that maybe you don't want, but they want to put in your house anyway. So start thinking about budgeting for those things, because those things will sneak up on you. I mean, at that point, you probably should have already factored in your HOAs, but if there's any additional, memberships or associations, like factor those things into, because it's not just the money at the closing. There's a cost of being a homeowner that does add up really quickly. So make sure that you are ready and prepared. It's a fun journey, but it can be costly if you're not paying attention. So that was a really good question. They're just trying to get in front of the closing day because it's upon us. That's my favorite part. Here are your keys. Go spend some money. Don't do that. All right. So hopefully that answered your question, and that was a really good one. You know, you can buy that lawnmower and those snow blowers and all that fun stuff. So it adds up. All right. I had another buyer question because you guys are really good at what you do. They were asking, okay, this is good talk. All right. When you go to an open house, what kind of things should you be asking? And it's different, like trust the vibe. I'm very big on like vibes and how you feel when you walk into a space. Some agents are really good at doing open houses. Some just kind of sit there and eat popcorn on the couch until you walk through by yourself. You never know what you're gonna get. But if it's a house that you're interested in, you should ask questions or make sure that you have questions that you want to ask your agent when you leave there if they're not traveling with you, right? And questions you should be thinking about, not necessarily, you know, the granite countertops or the fancy new floors or all the things you can already see. It'd be things that you don't actually know, like how old is the roof, when was that last replaced, or, you know, what's the neighborhood like. If they're allowed to answer certain questions, keep in mind we are guided by NAR rules, National Association of Realtors. Certain things we cannot say. You have to do your own research. And that means you can ask them like, you know, is this street busy? Are the neighbors loud? What do you know about this development? So you can ask them questions like that because ultimately you're going to be living there, right? It's going to be like your house. You know, you can't pick it up and move it somewhere else. So that you want to be able to ask the questions that are going to make it, you know, smart decision making for yourself. So keep asking questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions around an open house. Again, if they're not giving the warm and fuzzy vibes, that's why you have an agent and you can tell them that you're working with somebody already. Put your questions in your brain and then call your agent when you leave there and say, hey, I just saw this open house. I really want these answers. And sometimes they'll be able to forward you over a seller's disclosure that has some of the important factors that they know about, like how old the major mechanicals are. So when you formulate your offer, you're factoring those things into, pay attention, into your offer. So you're not actually looking for all of those things come inspection time. All right? Guys, I love these buyer questions. These are great. These are great. So how are we doing on time? Nah, not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, thanks for jumping on. Hi. All right. So for my sellers, you guys have been asking some really good questions. I know this market is very tricky, and depending on where you are at will dictate what we're doing with your numbers, right? Because at the end of the day, your house is only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. You can price it as high as you'd like, you can price it as low as you'd like, but there is a strategy involved and you have to make sure that you're being mindful and listening to your agent, at least the information that they're giving you, right? I don't tell you what to do, but I give you data and information that can help you derive the right decisions, which people should be doing, because you don't want to feel like they're talking at you and that they know better than everyone else, because I think people in general have an idea of what they want to do and what they need when they're buying a house. So ultimately being able to say, look, thank you for all the data. My neighbor sold at this and you're showing me that what's currently on the market. So when I do comps and I do the information, it is not just what sold already. It's also who's also selling their house that's like yours. You don't want to help somebody else sell their house and you don't want to be the reason why you can't move yours. All right. I like it. Thank you for the comments and the feedback. I love the faces. So the question that I have for my seller question was, this is really good. Should I price my house high? Right. Should that ever be? If you know it's high, yeah, it might sit there. So the answer becomes, guys, don't price your house high thinking that, you know, it's going to be super active and you're going to have tons of traffic. You want to just price it right. And I can't emphasize this enough, because you guys will see the trends. The data will tell you if you price your house too high, it becomes stale on the market. When people start seeing lots of adjustments because you didn't price it accordingly, they're going to think something's wrong with the house. Like, what's wrong with it? Nothing. We just got a little greedy and we wanted to shoot for the stars, and this is what happened. And sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes the market just shifted, or it's just a bad time, or it's not aligned in the way you'd like it to align. And that is the beauty of the real estate market. It's like a present all the time. You never know what you're going to get. But if you price it right, based on what the market is doing, you're going to have activity on your house, right? You don't want to price too low, assuming that you're going to get a frenzy, because people might have suspicion, because buyers are suspicious. Why is it marked so low? What's the matter with it? What's the problem? And they don't come look at it. right? So make sure that you are just looking at all the information, all the things that are needed. Make sure that your agent is very well vetted in what they do. And you want to make sure that they are able to talk to you about the information, the data, and kind of guide you in the right direction, right? So I sit with my sellers when I'm on listing appointments and talk through what the neighborhood's doing, what's trending, what's happening, how their house stacks up to what's going on in the market. Because you might think your house is very similar, but if you have the dated everything, you know, the dated kitchen, the dated bathroom, the dated all the things, right? You want to make sure that you are being mindful in your ask to make sure that they can still come look at your house because you're priced accordingly, right? So it's all about being smart and having that strategy and pairing off with somebody who knows what they're doing. So call your girl. All right, so seller, very good question. It is already 7:12. All right, guys, these are really good questions, and I think that the market is doing a lot of interesting things. So even more the reason to make sure that you are not afraid to ask questions and you have a platform to do that. I'm always available. Many people already know that they can shoot me an email. I've helped vet questions that seem off the wall, right? A couple of friends of mine, I even did a post about it. A couple of friends of mine were receiving, you know, the tax letter saying like, hey, by the way, we're raising your taxes. What can we do? So I helped draft a letter, helped put together a template, help them run comps to be able to go to the township and say, hey, reevaluation, please. So again, there is no questions that you guys cannot ask me or run by me or vet me. I'm talking 20 plus years in this industry. And if I don't know it, I know how to get you the answer, and we have a lot of fun doing it. All right. So I'm going to hit an investor question because my investors, you guys are fun. You guys are really, really fun. I have a new investor that I'm working with, and this question was, I had to kind of laugh, but like, then it's like, okay, well, that's a good question. Because the question was, should I buy a house that I wouldn't live in? So, yeah, if the numbers make sense, buy the house, you're not gonna live there. And the comment really was, I'd never live in this house. Why would I buy it? I'm like, okay, are you buying it for yourself or are you buying it as an investment? Do your numbers make sense? Yeah, the numbers are great. Okay, so let's rethink this. Perfect. You don't want to live there? That's fantastic because you want someone else to live there and pay you to live there, right? We're gonna have fun with it. It's gonna be tons of fun. I love my investors because they think out of the box, but they're also getting very comfortable with the thought of building generational wealth, right? So if you're an investor out there, if you're thinking about being an investor or you're trying to figure out how to get in the game, like call me. Like I love what I do when it comes to the investing part. I have amazing partners that I work with. I get lucky because my husband's a builder, so he's able to do my rehab projects, all the fun stuff that's built in with that. But at the end of the day, people think that it's not for them, that they can't actually do it. And you can start small on so many different scales. And my buyers who are first-time home buyers who want to kind of teeter into that investment part, it is possible to be able to purchase your first house that's a duplex or multifamily, right? As long as you don't happen to commercial. And that can be your first house using your FHA. So you can live in one, kind of be a landlord, kind of collect some rent and then pay for your mortgage. You can get creative if you want to go that route. And also if you're a first-time investor anyway, there's seller financing, there's creative financing options, there's partnering with other people, there's angel investors. There are so many different opportunities that are out there. You just got to be willing to kind of get out of your comfort zone of something that you want to pursue and kind of get after it. Guys, I can't believe how time flies. It's already 11:15, but I love you guys and I love real estate. So this is a lot of fun for me. If you have more questions, be not afraid to shoot them over. You guys know where to find me. I love meeting with you guys on Monday, kick off my whole entire week because it's fun like that. And I'm back here again on Monday at 7. I love that you guys are checking out my local loves. We go out into the community, hit up Monmouth and Ocean County, sometimes anything is local. You guys caught me when I went overseas because it was local for me. I was overseas, let's meet people. And he happened to be tri-state, so he was definitely local, right? Either way though, we do our Fridays or local loves. If you know of a good company that feels like they need to have their story told, because every small organization, every small business, any entrepreneur, anybody who's out there trying to do something good for the community or for others, like, let us know about them. I'd love to share the word. That's just what we love to do. You guys know I'm involved in a lot of things. You guys can see all of our posts on YouTube, Facebook, kind of bringing up the Instagram a little bit. I love y'all on Instagram. I'll make sure I start sharing more. I will do better. But check us out. We're very, very fluid when it comes to the YouTube and the Facebook and the information and the access to me. So DM me if you have questions. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. My investor bonus, I said I would give you guys a bonus before I left today, is what can I do to add value to my rental which is a great question. And guys, there's so many things you can do to a rental if you are trying to make sure that you have tenants that stay long-term and get you guys good tenants. I actually have like my top 12 things that you can do to a property. And don't just think granite countertops. I'm talking about like providing maybe a Wi-Fi service, or the most important thing for me, if I had to pick one thing before I let you go, because I'm already over my time, one thing, storage, right? Storage is like a gift. If you have like a nice clean basement where they can put their things in, or if you have a shed that they can leverage and have bins that they can put in for the holidays, like you might have a tenant for a very long time. People love storage. I love storage. And the reality is, if you can hide it, does it really exist? All your messes? I don't know. Anyway, I will see you guys all again next Monday at 7. And if you need me before then, you know where to find me. Check out the Truth Bomb Tuesdays, because I drop some serious bombs, right? Either confirm the myth or debunk it immediately. Either way. Love you guys. Hope you have a great night. Enjoy it. I will see you guys next Monday at 7. Thanks for checking me out. If you missed it, check out the replay and share. Share. Night, guys.